Let me interrupt with a question that grows out of that. Both of you have learned about each other's religions in different ways. Dr. Pearl, what is the most beautiful thing to you about Islam? And Dr. Ahmed, what is the most beautiful aspect to you of Judaism? If they don't talk, I'm going to talk about Christianity. So.
Judea, don't think so hard about Islam. There must be something.
No, but what's nice about Islam, in my mind, it's universality. The fact that you don't need a pope, the fact you don't need a country, you don't need a specific, even a mosque. You can pray anywhere where you are, in Kamchatka or in Islamabad even. And it's just you have direct connection to God. This is a great principle, dangerous too.
Each Muslim is a pope.
It's beautiful and dangerous. Yes. You know why it's dangerous? Because it gives people like Ibn Khaldun, the idea that because we are universal, we must convert everybody to it. So it's a double-edged sword. But it's beautiful in terms of intimate connection between an individual and God with no intermediary, and that's...
And for me, Judaism, of course, every Muslim is defined by Judaic consciousness, history, and ideology. For me, as a Muslim, I am really defined by what Jews are. For me, Abraham, Moses, these are live figures of love and reverence. For the community itself, what I really respect among the Jewish community is this great sense of learning. I find some incredible sense of respect for learning. The rabbis I've met are incredible. When I heard Judea Pearl just now giving his sermon from the rostrum, I was just thinking, is this Rabbi Judea Pearl speaking, or is this Professor Judea Pearl? He keeps, I'm a secular Jew, Akbar, you don't understand, we are secular. I keep telling him, you're going to become Rabbi Judea Pearl before. Maybe Imam Judea Pearl before then, but certainly. And then secondly, what I admire about Judaism, and I've seen this, not just lip service, I've seen this in action. What I really admire is the capacity for individual Jews to stand up and say, this is wrong. I've seen this, and I've talked to rabbis, and they said, this is our learning. This is our religious learning. That when there's suffering, there's oppression, you must stand up and fight. And that, again, is in Islam itself. These are some things that I'm very proud that we've inherited from the Jewish faith.
Would you like to take a question or two from the audience?
Yes, certainly.
Anytime.
Let
me ask us what we like about respective religion. What do you like about Islam most?
About Islam?
Yes.
Everything.
He's a universalist. And you, about Judaism? Maybe we should ask.
Well, we have first to define what Judaism is all about. I tell you about Judaism. Okay, it's a very peculiar religion, really. We don't understand how peculiar it is. It's more peculiar than you think. It is a symbiosis.
Today you've created the confusion among Christians and Muslims. Both of us have inherited your Judaic traditions.
It has this combination of being universal in compassion and tribal in responsibility. This is a symbiosis which is peculiar to this religion and which I find to be effective. I'm an engineer, right? First because I'm familiar with it, and second, I'm an engineer. It works. Right? What do I mean by universal in compassion? I mean, thou shalt not suppress the stranger. That's one of the basic tenets of Islam. But look at the continuation of that verse in the Torah. It says, thou shalt not suppress the stranger, because you should understand how a stranger feels. because you were once a stranger in the land of Egypt. So let's look at it. First it says universal compassion, universal morality, fine. But where does it come from? It comes from personal empathy. You understand how it feels, right? But where does personal empathy come from? Tribal experience. Not individual experience. You were once in Egypt. Well, I personally were not in Egypt. My tribe, my collective was in Egypt. Why? Because individual experience is not rich enough to capture the complexity of life. You need collective experience. You need a tribal experience. You've been once in Egypt. That is a kind of symbiosis which I think is very much attuned to our cognitive architecture. And that's one of the things which I like about Judaism.
Well put, Rabbi.
Today you've been ordained in a church today, so you can't.
Who would like to ask a question? There's one.